Yo, the New England Patriots are making a big move on the defensive side of the football, claiming a former Pro Bowler off of waivers from the Baltimore Ravens. Let's get into it. What is going on, Pats Nation? It's your boy Colby, also known as Patriots Global, back here with another video. Look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is my third time recording the video. The first time, I just didn't like how it ended up. The second time, loved how my video turned out. It was like a 12-minute video. Go to start editing it, and the audio just is not there. So this is the fourth time your boy is recording this video to try to get it out for you guys. It's going to be a late one because of all of the issues. So do your boy a favor. I'm working overtime for you guys. Leave a big like on the video. Maybe share it with a couple of friends. Comment how you feel about this in the comment section below. But most importantly, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Over 50% of you who are watching the videos each and every single week aren't subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys do that. It helps support me massively. But the New England Patriots are claiming linebacker / pass rush specialist Yannick Ngakoue off of waivers from the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this is a move that I absolutely love for a multitude of different reasons. But first, we kind of have to talk about why the Ravens are making this move. Now, the Ravens back in September signed Ngakoue back onto their practice squad after he was with them this offseason. Then in October, he plays about 5 games with them when he was promoted to their active 53-man roster. But then just a couple of days ago, he was released, and that's when the New England Patriots were able to claim him. Let's keep in mind, the New England Patriots, we are so bad, and I hate to say it, but we are so bad that if the season ended today, we would have the first overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Some good news about being this bad, though, is that we have first priority in the waiver wire, meaning that any player that gets released throughout the season that has to go through waivers, if the Patriots continue to stay this bad, they will have their first dibs at any player that has to go through waivers on if they want them or not. And that's exactly what happened here with Ngakoue. Now, the Ravens and Ravens fans were actually very disappointed that he didn't clear waivers, because the hope was that the Ravens would be able to release him, he would clear waivers, and then he would revert back to the practice squad, and Baltimore would end up having him through the rest of the season, and they would have a veteran pass rush specialist as they enter their big postseason and Super Bowl run. You know, the craziest part to this is when I was doing my research about Ngakoue was the fact that he's only 29 years old. Man, I feel like this dude has been in the league like my entire life. But no, he's only 29 years old. He was actually in the same draft class as Matthew Judon. And we know a big reason that the Patriots moved on from Judon was because of how old he was. He's 32 years old. So the fact that he was in the same draft class and Ngakoue isn't even reaching 30 yet is absolutely insane to me. But this is a guy that the Patriots and us Patriots fans should be very familiar with. I mean, he's been with a plethora of different teams, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But most notably, he was a second-year player when the New England Patriots played the Jacksonville Jags in the AFC Championship game back in 2017. That year, he also went on to go ahead and be voted on in NFL's top 100 players. So this guy has been a dog so far throughout his very long NFL tenure. But throughout 128 games, he was a former third-round pick, like I mentioned, in that 2016 draft. He's put up 229 tackles, 70.5 sacks. Yeah, you guys heard that right. I'm not lying. 70.5 sacks, 21 forced fumbles, while having 3 fumble recoveries and 2 interceptions to go along with another pair of defensive touchdowns. Now, like I mentioned, he's also only played about a handful of games so far this season for the Baltimore Ravens, and that happened once he was promoted to their actual 53-man roster, appearing in a total of 5 games so far this season for Baltimore, putting up a total of 1.5 sacks across 87 defensive snaps, and also had 7 quarterback pressures. You would think for a unit like the Baltimore Ravens, who are actually surprisingly struggling on defense, that this is a guy you probably would want to keep. And honestly, us Patriots fans are sitting here with, as much as we are struggling from offense to defense to even coaching, saying, you know what, 1.5 sacks, 7 quarterback pressures through 5 games, we'll take that production. Look, guys, I am a fan of this move for multiple different reasons. And before I get into why, I think we have to put the caveat on this. That being, no, I am not expecting him to be the future of the New England Patriots. I'm not expecting him to be here long term. I'm not telling you that this move means the Patriots don't need to go into the offseason addressing the edge position. This is probably just a 1-year rental, and we'll see if he even makes it to the end of the season. But the reason that I like this is because it gives us Patriots fans something to look forward to. This is an upgrade on defense, and the Patriots are struggling mightily on defense, more specifically at pass rush. That pass rush is non-existent, especially outside of Keion White. Things did not get any better when they traded Josh Uche a couple of weeks ago at the NFL trade deadline to the Kansas City Chiefs. Not to mention that I think we have dogs in the secondary. I mean, Christian Gonzalez, a dog. Marcus Jones, been struggling a little bit, but he's a dog. Those guys, though, struggling a little bit more. The secondary struggling a little bit more, as we've seen in recent weeks, in large part due to the fact that the Patriots have zero pass rush. They have no pass rush from the edge. They have no pass rush in the interior. They are having to find exotic ways to get pressure on quarterbacks. Cornerback blitzes, safety blitzes, blitzing linebackers off of the edge, blitzing linebackers through the middle of the gaps. When they are blitzing 4 players and 4 players alone, the Patriots have not had any success outside of Keion White. Now, Deatrich Wise, he's stepping up a little bit. He's allowed this pass rush to get a little bit more juice to them, but not nearly enough. I think this move has the potential to open up somebody like Keion White, because if you are an opposing offensive coordinator and you're looking about how to game plan against the New England Patriots defense, you say, well, if they go ahead and they rush 4 at us, the only guy that realistically we need to take away is Keion White. And if you double team him, you triple team him, you take him away, you feel pretty confident about your other one-on-one matchups throughout the rest of your defensive line. And I think Ngakoue can come in here and he can open up somebody like Keion White and Deatrich Wise a little bit more. Because you can go ahead and you can double team Keion White, but you're going to have Ngakoue opened up, or you're going to have Deatrich Wise opened up, and vice versa. Also, what I really like about this move is it's a veteran. You know, we've been talking all season long about the lack of discipline with this team, whether it's the coaching staff, whether it's the offense, whether it's the defense. It's very new. It's very young. It's very raw. A big part of that because these players are young. They're still developing in a new system with a first-year head coach who's the second youngest head coach in the NFL. And this team doesn't have an identity. And I have been one to say, do not get rid of your veteran players. Do not ship off Jonathan Jones. Do not ship off Kendrick Bourne, because we're seeing the struggles of how young and undisciplined this team is. Ngakoue can come in here as a poised veteran with regular season and postseason experience, help develop some of these younger players, but more specifically, help give this team a little bit more structure. Why did you get rid of Josh Uche? Because he was strictly a pass rusher and a pass rusher only. He cared more about himself and his statistics. And I love Uche, but that's the truth. He wasn't disciplined on the edge in the run game. He wasn't disciplined enough to stop mobile quarterbacks and maintaining the edge. That's something that the Patriots will at least have now in Ngakoue. To be completely forward with you, I don't think the biggest impact that he is going to have is going to be on the field. And I think he's going to come on and make plays. But I think the biggest impact that he's going to come here on the New England Patriots and make is as a veteran, is what he's going to do off the field, in the locker room, to help make this defense a little bit more disciplined and making sure that everybody is doing their job correctly. And like I said, he's been around the league with multiple different teams throughout his tenure. Again, not just seeing regular season experience, but also post-game experience with multiple different defensive systems. He's played with the Jags. He's played with the Vikings. He's played with the Raiders. He's played with the Colts. He's played with the Bears. And of course, he's also played with the Ravens. And I can already hear the comment section rolling in. Well, Patriots Global, if he was that good, why is he a veteran who was on a practice squad, played 5 games in the regular season, and then was released in hopes to put him back on a practice squad? And that's the fact that I think he's still coming back from an injury. He had broken his ankle towards the end of the 2023 season. Just back in December, completely broke his ankle and put him on season-ending injured reserve after he signed a 1-year, $10.5 million deal. That was less than a year ago. And I still think he's coming into himself. I still think he's still trying to re-find his footing. And I also think that's why the Baltimore Ravens, they wanted him back so bad. This is a team in the Ravens that has to win right now. Their margin for error is very limited. So if Ngakoue isn't performing the way they need, or they need a guy on the 53-man roster to fill in a certain hole that might be bigger, yeah, Ngakoue was going to be on the way out. But when it comes to the end of the season, it comes to playoffs and a potential Super Bowl run, you're hoping that by then, maybe Ngakoue would have been a little bit more healthy to give the Baltimore Ravens a little bit of extra push up front in the trenches. What I like about this move, too, is that I think he could potentially come in motivated. Now, look, he's coming from a Super Bowl contender to one, if not the worst team in the NFL. So it's all going to depend on him. What is your mentality coming to the New England Patriots, Yannick Ngakoue? Because you have the opportunity to hit free agency in just a short couple of months, reset your market, and get one last decent deal. Because if you come on a team like the New England Patriots, where you are going to have a big role if you allow yourself, where this team is struggling in the trenches, this team is struggling with pass rush, if you can come in here and make an impact and make some plays, this is your opportunity. This is the place where you can look good. And if he takes the most of those opportunities, I think he can go out and he can get paid. And who knows? Maybe the Patriots give him a 1 or 2 year deal if he goes ahead and balls out. And to me, a successful season, a successful end of the season, I guess I should say, for him here with New England, isn't putting up double-digit sacks. But if he can come in here and even just put up 5, 6 sacks, but open up the rest of this defensive line and just apply consistent pressure, then I think this move is an absolute dub. And I want to get into some of these numbers here, according to PFF, to give a little bit more insight on where he is at this point in his career, and maybe a little bit more on what to expect. So in 2023, again, let's keep in mind, didn't play a full season because he did go down with injuries. Was not grading very well overall when it comes to PFF. I mean, overall grade of 39.9. It really doesn't get much worse than that. Run defensive grade of 37.7 and an overall pass rush grade of 47.6. That season, he also went on to have a total of 11 solo tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 11 total stops, 4 total sacks, 26 quarterback hurries, 4 quarterback hits, and 34 total pressures. This is a guy who, again, his bread and butter is going to be pass rush. His bread and butter is going to be getting to the quarterback. Yes, he hasn't graded out very well against the run. He's not going to make a bunch of plays in the run game like somebody like Anthony Jennings, but he's still going to be a lot more disciplined and, again, maintain and contain the edge better than someone like Josh Uche was able to do. And I also want to go over, and I want to look at his 2022 statistics too. I don't want to go back any further, or earlier rather, than that, just because I think if you go back sooner than 2022, you're looking more so at a player that he once was and not so much a player that you're realistically going to be getting right now. But in 2022, he had a very good season. And that's where PFF stats can be a little askew here, because you look, his overall grade was 51.4. Run defensive grade of 43.7 and a pass rush grade of just 56.9. But that season, he was still tied for 11th in the NFL with sacks with 12. Going down and looking at these statistics here, he put up 13 solo tackles in 2022, 1 forced fumble, 19 stops, 12 sacks, 23 hurries, 9 quarterback hits, and 44 total pressures. I want to reiterate the fact that, yes, he was once a Pro Bowler. Yes, he was once in the NFL's top 100, but that's not what we should be expecting. Again, if he can come in here and just apply consistent pressure, open up the rest of the Patriots defensive line, and just have this team playing a little bit more disciplined and clean football, then again, I think that is all the Patriots need out of him. But this is where I kick it to you guys. What are your thoughts on this move? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and, of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. And, of course, never forget, go Pats.